Hi everybody, welcome to the quick drafting tip on how to pattern cut a circular dart detail around the neckline, which is a beautiful 1940s, 1950s vintage detail, but I've recently seen it on quite a lot of contemporary styles as well. And if you like fancy Merchant and Mills patterns, they got a dress. It's, I think, just 2 darts, but a similar detail. But I'm going to show you how to draft these darts now. So let's have a quick look at this top because it's really nice and it got lots of detail. It's got a it's got a really normal crew neck. So it's, I think, literally the neck on your basic bodice block, and it has been bound. As you can see here, it looks like a bound detail to me. And then it's just got slightly extended shoulders, which sort of give you that nice oversized look. And then it's not fully fitted, which I quite like. And then, but it's actually probably not as loose as I've drawn it. I'm not 100% sure. And then it's got that detail here, and I actually think it's literally just a peplum. So it's something like this. So it would be just your torso block from your waist to your hip, and I'm going to talk about that a bit more in next week's tutorial, how to use it. And then it's just got that that sort of fake, I would imagine it's fake, a fake bow. So if it's a fake bow, it's just stitched on top. If it's a real bow, this is your center front. So it either looks like this, and then this is just gathered up, and then a fake bow is stitched on top. Or if it's a real bow, it will look both on the front and back. It will look something, so it's stitched until just the edge of it. So it's probably stitched onto here, and then it's just a long tie which you tie together. And that might be actually real tie, because can you see here, that looks like a zip or an opening. So it might be that it's actually open here with either buttons or zip, and then it gets tied with the bow to secure it. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get in or out. Because at the back, because the neck is so tight, it actually got a keyhole opening with 3 buttons, which is quite a nice detail. And then the back is completely plain. And I think I've actually drawn it a bit too loose. I think it really looks like this in real life. So it's just got just a few gathers there, and then again at the back it's got the same sort of details. So I actually have changed my mind. I think it's a real bow, because this is a 40s pattern for a home, like a dressmaker for their own clothes. So it would be sort of relatively straightforward to make. So it'd be some sort of opening with little buttons, zip, or hook and eyes. And then it's just tied together. So the panel, the peplum would be stitched onto here with the front and back, or even maybe a bit closer, so just like 2 centimeters away from the edge, and then it gets tied on. So that's how the top works in general. But what I'm going to show you how to draft now is how to move your bust dart into these lovely circular darts, and they've actually top stitched them to make them stand out more. But you don't have to do that. And they've only moved the bust dart, but and then the base dart, they just turned into these tiny gathers at the back and the front. And of course you could do the same, or if you, for example, doing a fitted dress with, for example, a full skirt, you could turn both your waist and your bust darts into these nice details. Both would work. And of course you can make your neckline much bigger as well if you want to. So if you're making a summer top, you could just have a few details. You could have 5, 7. You don't need to have a central one. You could just have 4. I think the Merchant Mill dress is an I can't remember. I helped somebody make it. I think it's like a slightly sort of loose top, and then it's just got 2 dart details on either side. So you can basically play around. The method works for all of them, which is what's great about pattern cutting. Once you've learned this, you can adapt it to your own style. And now I'm going to show you how to do it. For this dart manipulation, you need your normal basic bodice block. And what we're basically going to do is just move our bust dart into lots of darts along the neckline. And you can use both your darts or one. It's up to you. And first of all, I'm going to quickly mark where I think my darts should be later on. So I'm going to mark my center front dart first, and you should make them all the same length. And of course, the shorter you make them, the more looseness you're creating, because you're moving your dart points away from the bust dart, which means they become shorter and smaller, which means your top becomes looser. So if you wanted to have a really fitted top, you probably only move about 3 centimeters or a bit over an inch up from your original bust point. So you would have really long darts. Depending on your neckline. But for this dart, I'm actually going to make my darts shorter, which will make the whole top longer. So I'm making mine only 10 centimeters long, 4 inches, but of course that's up to you. So I'm drawing this dart in, and I'm also going to draw there I think my second, my outside dart should be, and also the angle, and that's completely again up to you. So marking it the same length. Then I'm measuring the neckline, and then I'm marking the point halfway. So these 3 points are equidistant, so it looks pretty. And then I need to mark this dart point again. It's equidistant roughly between the same distance between these two. And the easiest way is to measure this distance and mark halfway again. And then through that point, mark in your middle dart, and it might be longer than that point. So mine is going past. So these are going to be my 3 darts, and of course you could easily make it 9 or 7 or 8, whatever you want to do. 3. And now we're just going to draw some cutting lines, and I'm going to draw one straight in the center front, and another one here, and another one there. So it's like the Georgia O'Keeffe, and you can either draw it at an angle like this, so right angle and straight, or the other option is like this, but then it'd be more angled. So I think by doing it like this, it actually opens it on the center front straight down rather than angled, which is, it looks a bit weird, but hopefully it will work. I'm not going to cut into all these lines. And now you can see what I can do is I close my bust dart, and I create my 3 dart details, which are going to be 5 details overall, exactly like this top. And can you see, by doing the 90-degree angle to the center front, I get the dart exactly on the center front rather than at an angle, because I want it to be straight of grain. All I now need to do is put a piece of paper behind it, make sure these are all the same width, and then I'm just going to mark the new darts with you, and then you're done. So you can see I've glued the side and the middle on a piece of paper, and now I just need to make sure my darts are the same width. So I've got 6 centimeters, and what I need to do is double it for my whole neckline, so that is 12 centimeters, and then I need to divide it by my whole amount of darts, not just half, so by 5. So 12 centimeters by 5 is 2.4. And the reason you do it is because if you made these 3 darts equidistant, if you made them all the same width, your center front dart would be double the width once you cut it out. And that's why we need to measure the width of the darts on one side, double it so we got the whole neckline, and divide it by all the darts. And then of course for this one I'm only gonna do half of my final width, so it's the right width. So my whole dart is gonna be 2.4, so I need to do it exactly half of that. And then of course these two are exactly the same distance. So again, you can measure it. Yeah, that's perfect. And then all we need to do is draw in our new dart positions, and the center front one should be really straightforward because you just draw it to your original position. And I've just marked my center front. On this one, you need to mark the middle point between your 2 original lines, and then draw lines to either side. That's going to give you a new dart. This one is going to be, we have to fudge it a bit because you have to do it from this to this, but it has to be same width. So I'm actually going to do it from, I might have to change it slightly. I'm going to try to do it from the middle there, but I need to see how long it is. So that's, oh no, this is 5. So I'm actually going to change it to this side because then I should get the angle. Now I need to fudge this one a bit to get the, so I'm going to do it slightly inner. Okay, so you can either do it like this, or if you want to keep it in the original position, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you need to mark it there, and then we're just going to mark the same point, and we're going to change our neckline a little bit. It's going to be changed by about 0.8 of a centimeter, so that's actually not too bad. You have that option, or you just move your dart point a bit. Either way will work well. It's just because of where we've moved the volume, it doesn't work that well. But whatever one you decide to do, the last thing you need to do is pin all your darts together and cut them out. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do it. So you just fold it on your new pin lines, your new dart lines, and then you pin it through all the paper. And alternatively, if you hate pinning several layers together, you can use tape. Actually, I'm going to use tape because it's a bit easier. And make sure you use masking tape, or I'm using a see-through tape which is fully removable. And you need to, because they have top stitched their darts, so if you do that, you need to make sure you move them in the direction you want to top stitch it. So in their case, I think I moved it all to the right, but it's up to you, of course. But once you decide what you want to do, you're gonna cut at the seam allowance, and then you cut your neckline out, and basically where you have the last dart, you need to just slightly reshape it. And I would do it with a on the full size. You can do it with a pattern master. Just reshape that curve slightly, because then you know it's the same length. Once you folded it, it will work well. And once you've done that, open them up again, and that gives you the seam allowance. And of course theirs is bound, so they don't actually need, if you're binding the neckline, you don't need to add any seam allowance to the neck. But if you want to do facing, then add seam allowance. But that's just a quick This is my quick drafting tutorial for a circular dart detail around the neckline. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!